Welcome back to the Logbook Pro video series. In this video we're going to take a look at the Logbook Explorer. The Logbook Pro Explorer can be accessed in different areas from the main toolbar by pressing the Control E shortcut key, as you can see from the menu. I've right clicked here in the workspace to bring up the context menu, so you can get into Logbook Explorer from that menu, as well as under the View menu you can click into the Logbook Pro Explorer. Let's take a look at the Logbook Pro Explorer and what data we can see within. Pretty much any data that you have entered or calculated within Logbook Pro can be viewed in the Logbook Pro Explorer. The idea here is to have a one-stop shop to view the data and get information from your logbook data that you've entered. We can look at the user information that we've entered in the Options User Info tab, which is also going to be important, as this is the information that will be displayed on the top of reports, that will be branded with your name on the bottom of the reports, and other areas within Logbook Pro if you so set that option. You can look at the different data within the Explorer just by clicking the different nodes, just like in Windows Explorer, and you can view pretty much anything pertaining to your logbook. We can also export this data by selecting the File Export option or the Export button here on the sub toolbar. And we can export it just like our data entry areas, either to Excel if you have Excel installed on your computer, to a web page, HTML format, comma-separated values, or text tab delimited data file. We can print the data as we see it on the screen. We can also format the grids. If you don't like the horizontal grid scheme, that is the default. You can turn off your borders. We can show both vertical and horizontal. Or my favorite is to go no borders and show row shading on the odd lines, which makes it easier to read. We've got as you can see, I'm scrolling the wheel on my wheel mouse, so I can actually look at the data, in this case all my aircraft configuration data, in one nice view as seen here. We can look at our certificates, our ratings. We can actually, for example, we can branch down the node, and if I just want to quickly find that piece of information, it will actually be set to scroll to the top and highlighted, and then you can scroll if you need to see information that's above that. So by selecting a node on the left, Logbook Pro will actually find that row instantly for you on the right side view and highlight it so you can easily see the information you're looking for. History items will have a formatted display. Just as in the history area, it will only show you your last event. So if you have earlier Class 1 medicals, such as it might be hard to see on the screen, but you can see here in light gray we've got a Class 1 medical, but the fact that there is a medical that occurred at a later date, that is the one that will show as active on the display in the history area. So Logbook Pro is actually showing you all of the information it has stored, but it is bringing to your attention the latest unique entry for that particular item. If that item is expired, then it will show in red to indicate to you that it is overdue. Just as before, we can branch down the node on the left side. You get another representation of our expired events, and then our events that are not expired. And again, just as before, if you click the item on the left side, it will show as highlighted and scroll to the top row for you on the right side. This currency view is a great resource for you to identify, one, if your currency is expired or not, and then two, whether exactly what item is expired and why. All right, we'll go ahead and take a look here at our configuration here for this is our airplane multi-engine land group. You can see our groups of currencies, and within each group we have currencies that are defined. In this example, AMEL Day, it is expired as of the November 12th. We can then look at this particular currency by drilling down into the currency node itself and see that this is why I'm expired. I require all of these items to pass, but I have not met my landings item. My Class 3 medical is still good, which is green, but because I have an all to pass, which means every one of these items in the all to pass group have to be good to go for my currency to be current, we can see and identify that this is the cause for the currency to be expired. So this is a great resource, one, to look at a color-coded list of information here to see the currencies we have in the system that are being tracked, their status, and then we can actually drill down into the currencies and determine what has gone wrong. We can also look and see that there are 77 days remaining on this particular currency. Focusing on our Explorer style view, we can actually expand all of these just by right-clicking, and we then have all of the data available to us, or we can collapse it and clean up the view. Again, right-click and choose either the expand or collapse option. So you get a great resource of currency information here from the Logbook Pro Explorer area. Let's take a look at our flight log. If you click the root node here of the flight log, it's going to load your entire logbook's records in the right side view. So here we've got all 5,232 flight log entries available for view. We can find information here if you elect not to find it in the flight log area itself. You can also get a great snapshot of your grand totals here in a flash just by clicking the grand totals node under the flight log node, and this applies to your entire logbook. Well, we can also look at a specific aircraft type. We can see the different types that Logbook Pro is storing for us, as well as how many entries there are for each type. So we can take a look here at our Cessna 152 we've been using for our example. We click on Cessna 152 type. We have 67 entries, which are displayed on the right-hand side, and then the bottom of this is also the summary information for each column. So we've taken the effort out of this for you to add up any information you want for a specific aircraft type and present it here in a summary row at the bottom of the data. So a great resource there as well, but you can also look at the aircraft totals for this particular type. So we have 67 flights, 45.7 for the duration, only for the Cessna 152 type that I have listed here on the side. So we have a grand totals for my entire logbook, and then we have it by specific aircraft type. You can also see that each flight is represented. We can drag this area, make it a little wider, but we can actually look in. Here's the date, here's the route, here's the duration. Okay, I'm looking for this entry, and there it is. It again scrolls it to the top for us and highlights the row to make it easy for us to find. So a great piece of information for you to take a look at here in the Logbook Pro Explorer, where you can look at all of your logbook resources within one view and even drill down to a specific node. One more thing I want to show you here in the logbook area, or the Logbook Pro Explorer area, is this little icon here on the toolbar. It allows you to actually freeze columns. The default is the freeze the date column, but watch as I scroll to the right, the date column actually is frozen. It is not going to move. I can drag by putting my mouse over this splitter and say maybe I want it to freeze all the columns to the left of the splitter. All I have to do is drag and relocate the splitter to the area that I want to have frozen to the left of. In other words, don't move those columns when I scroll horizontally. And then if I want to scroll the entire display, I can just remove the splitter by clicking the icon on the toolbar, the button on the toolbar here, and that splitter will then disappear. So as you can see, the Logbook Pro Explorer is a valuable asset to your software application. A great way for you to find information that you might be looking for, get summary information by type, whether for your insurance forms or preparing any form or data, looking at your currencies, which are calculated when you click the currency, so it's up to the second in the recency of the information, as well as your other data entry areas. So I hope you got something out of this.